Hey y'all, it's DJ and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how unworthiness blocks, hinders, or sometimes even stops us from being able to obtain our blessings, obtain our promise, and walk fully into our purpose. It wasn't until here recently that I actually realized I had been and still was battling with so much unworthiness that was deep down trapped in my subconscious mind. And the definition of unworthy is feeling not deserving of attention, effort, or respect. And the word undeserving is defined as not deserving or worthy of something positive, especially help or praise. So just to give a little backstory, when I look back on my life, I can really see how the enemy has been trying his best to attack my self-worth since a very young age. I remember being 3.5, 4 years old, back when they had phone books. I would flip through these magazines, I would flip through these phone books, and I would see pictures of women, and I would say, wow, when I grow up, I hope I'm as beautiful as her. Wow, like I hope my nose looks like hers. I hope my teeth is like hers. I hope that I'm successful like she's successful. And it wasn't until I was a little older that I looked back and I was like, what does a 3.5, 4-year-old know about feeling insecure or comparing themselves to other people in that sense? So the enemy really wasted no time trying to come against my self-worth, come against my self-image. And fast forward throughout the course of my life, especially dealing with the quote unquote health issues that I was dealing with. And I say quote unquote because ultimately those things were never about physical illness, as they were about spiritual torment and spiritual conditioning. So throughout the course of my life, dealing with these things and not really being heard by my parents, not really being heard by doctors, not being heard by friends, it just kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth about myself and about what it was that I did or did not bring to the table. And there's been a lot of times that I would have friends, I would have different family members say things to me like, I'm so tired of hearing about your pain. I'm so tired of you talking about it. I'm so tired of like, oh, you crying again. You talking about you sad again. You talking about you depressed again, to the point where I just completely stopped talking about it and I would just internalize everything and I would hold it within. So I was suffering in silence to the point, like I mentioned in other videos, I was suicidal. I was having thoughts of suicide. And it's funny because the same people who I knew would be front row at my funeral crying, talking about, oh, I didn't know. Oh, why would she do this? Oh, I'm so mad she did this. Are the same people. When I was crying, you was tired of hearing it. When I was voicing my emotions, when I was voicing my feelings, when I was needing a shoulder to cry on, I was being annoying. I was doing too much. I was being a complainer. I was being a baby. I was crying, woe is me. And I grew accustomed to people don't care about how you feel. You should not expect people to care about how you feel. You shouldn't expect help. You shouldn't expect support. And it got to the point where I felt like I was not worthy to be supported. I was not worthy to be listened to. I was not worthy to be heard. I was not worthy of anyone's compassion or empathy. I felt like this issue is my issue, and this issue is something that I need to suffer with and suffer in silence. And so I did that, and when it came to me opening up about what I was dealing with, me voicing, me talking about it, it was very far few in between. I literally would not speak about it because once you show me one time possibly too, that you do not care, that I cannot come to you with my pain, I would completely withdraw in that sense. And it's sad, but I thought that, well, I could still entertain, I could still be friends, I could still love this family member, but I just have to understand that this conversation is off limits. I just have to understand that I am responsible for my own suffering. I'm responsible for my own pain. And that's unworthiness in itself, that would say, bite the bullet and still love these people, still listen to them if they need support, still be a shoulder for them to cry on, still offer them advice, still give them encouragement, although you cannot expect the same thing in return, instead of just cutting this person off and leaving them where they are. And it made me the type of person where I could be hungry, I could be laid out on the floor, can't get up, in so much pain. I'm not gonna call you, I'm not gonna text you, I'm gonna lay there until I can get back up because I don't want you to help me. So I said all of that to say I was dealing with such a strong level of unworthiness. And unworthiness will leave you with an overexposed heart and a closed mouth. A heart that's on fire, eyes that hold back tears, and a mouth that cannot speak. And on my way out of high school, like my senior year, God started like hinting to me or showing me like, I've caught you to minister to people. I've caught you to encourage people. And I was just like, I'm not telling nobody. My unworthiness was like, you can't tell nobody about what you've been through. Unworthiness told me, you're not worthy to be listened to. Unworthiness said, why would somebody want to listen to you? Who are you for someone to listen to? And I would tell God, take this pain away. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to testify. No. Just all I want you to do is take the pain away, and you can keep all the extra. There's so many people with 1,000,000 unsaved souls in their mouth. In their mouth. All they have to do is open up their mouth and speak on their testimony, and 1,000,000 unsaved souls are on their way to the kingdom. But unworthiness has it wired shut. So fast forward, when God really started showing me, explaining to me what he's called me to do, what my purpose is, which has been since about 2015, 2016. Initially, I was just like, no way, I'm not doing that. Who? And people would be just telling me all these, oh, it's so many people that's going to be saved by you. And like, oh, you're going to heal so many people, and so many people are going to be set free. And it's just going to be like, oh, like, wow, God is really going to use you, girl. And I'm like, how can God use me? Who am I for God to use? Why would God not choose someone else? I don't want to be used, because my unworthiness was saying, who are you? And next thing you know, God starts to talk about the whole YouTube thing, making a YouTube channel. And I would say, God, why would someone want to listen to one of my videos? Imagine that. Imagine that. I would just be like, why would somebody want to hear my testimony? Unworthiness. And during that time, before I actually started the channel, God was really building up my self-esteem. He was really building up my self-image. He was really breaking down and breaking off all of my insecurities, all of my self-consciousness. And leading up to this moment, I've gotten more and more confident in myself, more and more secure in myself, to where I walk into a room and unworthiness is not the first one who speaks. But unworthiness knows how to be front and center, but then move to the back. And you think unworthiness is gone, but the whole time unworthiness is only covert. It's there, but you can't see it. It's there, but you don't feel it. Because anybody can walk in a room and feel like, I got it. Looks ain't even on the table. That's just an extra, but I got it. I know who I am. I know who God called me to be. But then when God begins speaking and saying, this is how I want to bless you, This is what I have for you. Okay, you're doing well, but I just want to let you know this is light work compared to what I really have for you. When you start to feel these things on your spirit that say, wow, this is great, I'm loving this, I feel so honored and blessed, but I know that God got so much more for me to do. I know that I haven't even began to truly step into my purpose, and it come a time where it's like, hold on. Hold on. Why does ministry have to be the first and foremost thing in my life, and every single thing and every other thing be on the back burner? I love ministering, I love encouraging, but I had some things in mind that I thought, or like, because we plan our lives out. We have desires, we have wants, and we have needs. We need things out of life. We need to feel accomplished. We need to feel esteemed. And when God puts you in a position where it's like, well, all of that is going to happen in one way or another, because I know the desires of your heart and I put them there. But ministry is your first and foremost responsibility. Not your kids, not your husband, not your parents. Ministry. It began to feel like this is too much weight for me to bear, too much responsibility for me to bear. But I began to slowly step up to that plate. And I'm like, okay, God, well, I'm willing. Okay, I don't have a choice. I love to do this anyway. So it is what it is. But when you then accept these assignments and accept these roles at a level that you have not witnessed before, saying, okay, God, I thought this was it, but you calling me to more, so let's do it. But then God start putting you back through the fire when you didn't been, I've seen, listen, don't put me in the furnace no more. If I gotta go back to that furnace, I don't want it. No. And unworthiness begins to say, well, I thought I was ready. Why haven't you blessed me yet? Oh, I thought it would have happened already. Why haven't you blessed me yet? And why is that considered unworthiness? Because who told you God was not going to bless you anymore? At that point, you don't feel worthy for him to bless you. Because if God says, if his word says that he shall meet your needs, that everything that he speaks shall come to pass, and you think or believe otherwise, that's unworthiness. It's just covert and it's subconscious, and you don't realize that what you've once experienced, your past experiences, are somehow in another still at work. Unworthiness will have you standing at the door of your breakthrough, standing at the door of your promise, standing at the door of your purpose, and saying, I can't get in there. I don't have access to that room. I don't have access to that door. Hand on the door. All you gotta do is twist the doorknob and open it. But unworthiness says, who are you? What makes you so worthy? What makes you so special? What makes you so different that God would bless you in that way? Unworthiness will cause you to detach from your blessings, from your purpose. Unworthiness will tell you the things that God has been promising you is so far out of reach, so why even try? You're waiting for no reason. You're waiting in vain. God has forgot about you. God isn't going to do what he said that he's going to do. Granted, the trying, the testing, the fire is difficult. It's not easy. It's not comfortable, to say the least. But is it really the uncomfortability, or is it that we somehow allow our uncomfortability to lie to us, saying God isn't going to do what he said? Somehow, if I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing, God is not going to come through for me. And that's unworthiness. Because who told you that you don't deserve for God to come through for you? Who told you that you don't deserve for God to help you? God began talking to me, telling me he was proud of me, telling me that I'm essentially worthy of his love, of his salvation. And unworthiness was constantly rebuttaling. I didn't speak it with my mouth, but it was definitely in my heart. Why would you be proud of me to the point that you want to bless me? But who am I to argue with God? If God says that he's proud of me, who am I to say that I'm not worthy to be proud of? I'm not worthy to be praised. People would start commenting on my YouTube channel. You're so anointed. Oh, wow, you're such a blessing. Wow, thank God for you. Wow, bless you. And I would just read the comments, and it took a while for it to just really register. These people are talking about me. Because when you are so used to people shaming you for everything that you are, constantly speaking ill of you for everything that you are, constantly demonizing your vulnerability, constantly demonizing you for being overexposed, to then have someone praise you for something is uncomfortable. Because unworthiness told me I'm not good enough. Unworthiness told me I'm not able to make a difference. I won't make a difference. So if you could imagine, if the enemy knows that you have a testimony, if the enemy knows that you have something planted in your heart that can break chains, that can utterly destroy generational curses, that can heal, that can minister, why would he not try his best to shut your mouth? Why would he not try his best to cause you to deem yourself unworthy? And that's why unworthiness hits so much different than insecurity, than low self-esteem, because you can know how to write a book. You could have a gift of prophetic, divine writing. But if unworthiness has told you nobody wants to hear your story, if unworthiness told you this is really not going to make a difference, if unworthiness told you, well, it's 1,000 other people who've been through worse who can make a bigger impact, it doesn't matter how confident you are at that point. Because you know that you hold confidence, because you know that you aren't self-conscious, you can't quite understand, well, why can't I just sit down and do what God told me to do? Why can't I push past whatever this is blocking me? And we want to say it's the enemy. It's not the enemy. It's your unworthiness. It's hidden, covert unworthiness that has been stored and programmed in your subconscious mind. It's the enemy's secret weapon. And I feel this so heavy on my spirit. Unworthiness will tell you that you do not have a sure reward on the other side of your pain. That pain has whooped and whooped and whooped on you to the point that you have completely detached from what God promised you. Meaning, because of your current situation, because of what it currently looks like, you aren't able to mentally, spiritually remain connected to what it is that God promised you. It begins to feel too far out of reach. And if the enemy can make you feel in the last round, in the last fight, that you do not have a sure blessing, that you aren't worthy, that you are undeserving of a sure blessing, he can completely rob you of the finish line. Imagine making it to the finish line and you just throw up your hands and say, oh, what's the use? And go home. And they was like, where'd she go? Where'd he go? He didn't even get his ribbon. He didn't even get his trophy. That's where so many people are in the spirit right now. You won. Not just because, the battle is already won. No, you're there. You're there. This compression that you feel is only the crossover. You were there. But this subconscious unworthiness told you you weren't. It told you it's not obtainable. God would be saying, I'm going to move you. I'm going to move you. And I would say, God, I don't have no money. How you going to move me? I don't have no money. I don't see the money. Is it another stimulus coming around? I don't see the money. That's unworthiness. If God told you he's going to do something and your first thought is, well, how? That's unworthiness. Because at that point, subconsciously, unworthiness is telling me I'm not deserving of being helped. I'm not deserving of being saved. So many people promised to save me. So many people promised to help me, and it fell through. So now that God, someone that I cannot see, cannot text, cannot email, is saying, I'm going to do the impossible, well, guess what? I don't believe you because of my unworthiness. As bad as I want to, I do not feel worthy of what you're promising me. To sit up anxious about a bill and be stressed about it, be in the closet like, God, please, 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 I need this money, Lord. I need this money, Lord. You gotta, please do something, Lord. As if God didn't say that he shall provide all of your needs, that he shall grant all of your heart's desires, is unworthiness. Because why do you feel like God would not come through? What experience, what trauma told you that God will not come through? God has changed his mind about a lot of things. God has canceled, readjusted so many promises in my life. But what he ain't ever did was left me high and dry. But unworthiness says if it didn't work out how you thought it was going to work out, it's because God really doesn't care. The enemy says, well, didn't God let you down like your parents did? Didn't God let you down like your ex-husband did? Didn't God let you down like your sister did? This house right here is currently being built close to where I used to live. And I would pass by this house, especially at night, and the lights would be on and stuff. And I'm like, that's a big house. It ain't no mansion, but like, that's a big house. And I wanted to see the inside of this house so bad. I would just drive by and I would just want to say, can I just come and look? These men out here working, it's hot outside, and I just want to go look at this house and the inside. Like, I want to see what it's giving. And it was one day I kept riding by, taking pictures, and I know they was just like, who is that? And I didn't got on Google Translate, because as long as I got a translator app, I speak Spanish. I'm bilingual. I speak Spanish. And I was going to go up to those people and so confidently, like, ¿Puedo mirar? Excuse me, ¿Puedo mirar? Can I look? Like, you mind if can I look? I was just like, this house is so beautiful. Like, okay. So it was one day, I was riding up on the house, and God said to me, what if I told you to move into this house? And instantly I was like, that's too big. It's just me and my son. What would I do with all of those rooms? I don't even know how many rooms is in there, but I know I don't need that many rooms. And I just cannot even imagine like how big the living room is. No. I mean, I would. I guess I wouldn't say no, but at the same time, no. That's unworthiness. That is unworthiness. And God said to me, how many of my children do you think would see this house and it's just them and their dog, it's just them and their husband, and say, this house is too big. It's too much room in this house. Imagine an infinite God, an omnipotent God, a God in control of all things, and you tell him, this house is too big for me. That's a slap in the face. Not only is it unworthiness, but you didn't slap God in the face. Cause how dare you say this is too big for me? No, I'm sorry. I don't want to be blessed in that way. No. Imagine asking a kid, do you want a 50-piece Lego set or a 250-piece Lego set? They're not going to say the 50. If anything, they're going to say the 50 and the 250. Get them, why not just get them both? Like, why we can't just get them both? But to say, oh God, I don't need all that. You ain't got to do all that for me. Oh, I was just completely fine with mediocrity. Is saying, God, I don't want no new Legos. I don't want no, it's my birthday, but you know what? Dad, like this year for my birthday, I don't want any new toys. Like, just wrap up my old toys. Just wrap up my old toys. It's fine. Just surprise me with my old toys. No child is going to say that. No child. So why would we say that to God? How dare we say that to God? Imagine having $1 million at your disposal to throw the most extravagant birthday party for your child whom you love. And they say, wow, like, no, I don't even want a party. I don't even want a cake. Stick a candle in a plate of spaghetti and wrap up my old gifts from last year's birthday. And that will just be the best birthday for me. That's how we sound sitting up talking about, oh God, it's taking too long. I already told you I don't need all that. Oh God. Oh, I don't want to keep on going through. I don't want to keep on being tried and tested. Oh, I don't want to go through the fire no more, Lord. I don't care what you got for me. I don't want to do it, Lord. No. No. Unworthiness will say there's no way that God is going to meet your desires and expectations on the other side of this toiling. There's no way that you could possibly reap a harvest from this toiling. There's absolutely no way that you're going to receive your wage, your worker's pay. Why would you believe that? Unworthiness is like, why would you believe that? Who told you to believe that? No, who told me to believe that God took me through and He not finna bless me? Who told me to believe that I should not consider myself anointed? That I should not consider myself overflowing in the glory of God? And if you say, well, you're thinking a little too hot, well, guess what? That is unworthiness. We are all worthy to be blessed. We are all worthy to receive our reward. We are all worthy to be financially, spiritually, emotionally taken care of, helped, supported, loved, and understood, even if it's just by God. And anything that speaks against that is a lie. If all of a sudden you feel like, oh, what's the use of keep going? Start canceling the assignment of unworthiness and see what happens. It's some people who are extremely uncomfortable by what God has promised them. And they're like, Lord, build my faith, God. Build my faith. Oh, build my trust in you. Cancel the assignment of unworthiness. It's some people that's bouncing back and forth between, I could see it, it's probably happening tomorrow. I won't be surprised if it happened tomorrow to, I won't be surprised if it even happened at all. 1 minute you see it, 1 minute you don't. Cancel the assignment of unworthiness. There are some people who have people around them that truly support them, truly care for them, truly love them, would truly bless them if they needed it, would truly bless them without them even having to ask. Unworthiness has hid himself in a package and slapped a bow on top labeled pride, saying, oh, I don't want to ask nobody. I don't want to. Is it that you don't want to ask nobody? Is it that you really just don't like for people to help you? Or is it that you are so used to people talking about you, that you are so used to people running your name to all the family members? Now everybody calling you saying, oh, what's up? Is it that you're really prideful? Or is it that deep down you secretly don't even feel worthy of receiving what they have to offer? Truly believing that there are people who will give, who will bless you, who will support you, who will listen to you, who will offer their shoulder to you to cry on, will truly do it from a place of genuine kindness, truly mean it, with no secret hidden agendas. Unworthiness will tell you, oh, you can't pick up the phone and call her. You can't pick up the phone and call him. Oh, no, don't speak on what you're going through. Don't speak on how bad you're suffering. You better just suffer in silence, because remember last time when you asked for help and that person that made you feel like you was crazy and they just left you high and dry. You remember how bad that hurt you? And it's like, you could be blocking your help. You could be sabotaging yourself from receiving help, all surrounding the fear that a person will make you feel as unworthy as your father did. You're not walking around like, oh my God, I just will refuse. I refuse to ask for help because I don't want nobody to make me feel like Daddy made me feel on January 1st, 1983, when my grandmama didn't show up to my graduation, when my daddy didn't show up to my 10th birthday, when I came to my mom with my tears and my pain, and she said, oh, get out of my face, I ain't trying to hear that. You a kid. You ain't going through nothing. Subconscious, covert. I thought I was over that. I thought I had forgot about that when Timmy slapped the door in my face and I needed a place to sleep. I thought I had forgot about that when I was hungry, I ain't have no food, and Samantha came and said, hey girl, you can come over. And I got there and she wasn't at home and didn't text me, didn't say nothing. I thought I was over that. But then when I needed help, but then when I needed to be supported, but then when I needed to open up my mouth and express what I was going through, Unworthiness said, oh no, you can't talk about that. There's people drowning, suffering, in pain. Won't even talk to a counselor about it because Unworthiness have said, shut your mouth, and they praying against pridefulness. Open up your mouth and pray against the spirit of unworthiness. Open up your mouth and say, God, show me that I am worthy. Show me how you see me. Show me that I am deserving of all things. I said to myself, you know what? I want to get a real nice hotel, like $500, $600, $700, maybe even $1,000 a night, and go to a spa, and just like treat me. Treat me. I want, what treatment? All the treatments. I'm wanting all the treatments. Yes. Whatever you have to offer, give it to me, please. Okay. But then I looked at the prices and I'm just, really trying to like, okay, so if I stay there for 2 nights, this like, but who told me I can't go to a hotel that's expensive and go to the spa and hang out and just like live my best life? Who told me that? Who told you that $5,000 a month for a home is too much money? Who told you that a man who treats you right, who's respectful, who loves you for who you are, who leads you closer to God, is doing too much? Oh God, I don't even want to be married. Oh no, I remember when God told me, oh, you got, I said, I don't even want to be married. Keep on. But Unworthiness was like, girl, you need to work on you. How you gonna bring that to a man? How would he not cheat on you? Because Timmy and Tommy did. So why he not gonna cheat? What about you is worthy to this man that God is promising that was not worthy enough to Timmy and Tommy? Unworthiness. I don't even want my blessings, God. I'm begging. My spirit, my soul is begging for these promises, for these blessings, begging, crying out. But in your mind, you're like, oh no, girl, I don't need a man. Oh no, I don't need a man. Oh no, God, I don't need no business and it's making 100,000. Like, I'll just be cool with 10 a month. Okay, that's fine. That sounds crazy. And a lot of people probably heard that and was like, not me. I'd rather make 100,000 than make 10. But then you won't even go and start the business because Unworthiness told you who would even come and shop. You can't even make $1 because Unworthiness got you in a chokehold. Why would they just want to even like come and spend $1? Like, what about my business? What about my product? Like, who would want it? You got a whole $1,000,000 business plan. You know how you want everything to look. You know the color scheme. You know the packaging. But unworthiness has your hands tied behind your back. You got the self-esteem. You're confident enough to put your stuff out there on Instagram. You're confident enough to take your money and go spend it on cards, but you don't find what God gave you worthy enough to truly put it out there and present it. Because in the 5th grade, I wanted an award at the award ceremony, and these folks gave me best laugh. You could have gave me good reader. You could have gave me good attendance. You could have wrote on there, he be trying. She be trying. If they don't do nothing else, they gonna try. But you gave me best laugh. And now there's an unworthiness rooted in my soul. And I'm accomplished. I'm esteemed. On the outside, I'm the entire package. Even on the inside, I'm the entire package. Not knowing that I am in a prison of unworthiness. Unworthiness limits you. Unworthiness traps you. Unworthiness can have you in a wide open field, free to roam, saying, wow, I'm stuck. Wow, I don't have everything that I need. If the enemy can cultivate unworthiness in your heart, in your mind, even if the things that he used to penetrate unworthiness into your heart, into your spirit, into your mind, are healed. Hear this. Hear this. Not you not thinking about him no more, but healed. But you have not broken unworthiness off of your subconscious mind. The enemy has the potential to hinder, block, and even stop the promise that God has bestowed over your life. Imagine how many people are broken. God is at the door saying, I can heal you. But unworthiness says, no, you were deserving of that pain. You deserved to be punished. In the pain that you experienced, the pain that you are so ashamed of, the pain that you so desperately want to hide, the pain you cannot bear the idea of voicing, putting words to, was going to heal millions of people. But you first forfeited your own healing. I don't care who told you any different. I don't care what experiences told you any different. You are worthy. I pray that the assignment of unworthiness would be canceled in your life. I pray that you would be brave enough, bold enough to decree and declare that unworthiness, the assignment of unworthiness, is utterly destroyed and annihilated in your life, in your bloodline. I pray that you would get brave and bold enough to say, God, I do stand for my promises. I do stand for my purpose, and I would not dare fix my mouth to say or agree to anything outside of what you have spoken. When they came and that tomb was empty, you were declared worthy. And let no enemy, let not men tell you anything differently.